questions which we will answer throughout this discussion. So, how do the language policies of the Philippines and Thailand reflect their approaches to governance, education, and cultural preservation, and what challenges do they face? But before we start, let me read first the research questions. So first, what are their official languages and how are they used in media education and governance? Second, how do they manage national versus indigenous language? Third, what role does English play? Fourth, what are the challenges in implementing these policies? And lastly, how do these policies affect national identity, economic development, and regional integration? Before we start answering these questions, based on the gathered data from the government website. So before we start answering these questions based on the government websites and academic journals, I analyze the policy updates for both countries. So let's start with the comparative analysis. First, the Philippines has a Filipino and English as official languages, while Thailand's official language is Thai. However, English is taught as a second language in both countries. Now, in education, the Philippines promotes mother tongue-based multilingual education, or the MTB-MLE, using regional languages in early grades. Thailand also supports ethnic languages, but with less widespread implementation. Now, in English integration, English is more integrated into the Philippine system used in higher education and official documents. In Thailand, English remains a foreign languages subject with limited daily use. But in terms of challenges, the Philippines struggles with training enough in MTBML teachers. Thailand faces difficulties in preserving minority languages like Malay and Karen. These policies shape national identity by recognizing diversity, but economic development is more supported in the Philippines due to English fluency. Both countries are still aligning with Asia's goal of regional integration through multilingualism. In terms of the case study that I gathered, the great example for the Philippines is the 1987 Constitution language provision, which are enshrined in Article 14, Section 6 and 7, serve as the legal foundation for the many language policies in place there. Since the 1935 and the 1973 Philippine charters were ambiguous on the subject, the approval of the aforementioned constitution settled the questions of what the country's official language is. Exploring into Thailand, based on the case study of Shan Ruiz Luo, given its lengthy history and rich cultural diversity, Thailand's language policy has experienced a rich and diverse evolution that has been greatly impacted by social, political, and cultural shifts. Different languages and cultural practices were perpetuated in different parts of ancient Thailand, creating a multilingual coexistence as kingdoms grew, particularly during the Sukhothai and Ayutthaya eras. Thai progressively emerged as the primary language in politics and cultural domains. During this time, Thai culture was promoted, national unity was strengthened, and the Thailand's linguistic policies foundation. Thailand went through political unrest at the beginning of the 20th century, with issues of unity and national identity becoming into important issues. The government took action to encourage Thai as the main literary and administrative terminology. This approach highlighted the relevance of Thai in national identity but also brought up issues with minority and local languages. Further modification to Thailand's language policy occurred as a result of industrialization and globalization. That the government began taking steps to safeguard linguistic variety after progressively realizing its significance, and protect minority and regional languages. During this time, changes were made to contract worldwide ones. But the modern issues and changes in Thailand's language policy as globalization, technological advancement, and social change continues to impact Thailand. The government must adapt its language policy flexibility to maintain linguistic diversity in a multicultural setting and ensure social harmony. As globalization progresses, Thailand must strike a balance between the preservation of indigenous languages and the needs of international communication. English status as a global language. However, both face funding and implementation issues, especially in remote areas. So, now that we discussed the comparative analysis, the methodology, and the case studies of the both Asian countries, let's now move on to the conclusion and the recommendations. So, in summary, both the Philippines and Thailand are actively shaping inclusive language policies. The Philippines leads in multilingual education, while Thailand focuses on unity through Thai, but it is starting to support regional languages. We recommend increased teacher training, local curriculum support, and community involvement, government, to make these policies more effective. So, by strengthening the language policies, both countries can better contribute to Asians' regional